Hey guys, Pastor Nate here with a 2-minute teaching for you. And we had this kind of weird, crazy ice storm thing last night where it rained and then it froze solid, and there was like a eighth of an inch of ice on top of everything this morning. If you live in the Denver area, maybe you woke up and had to scrape all that off your car. But I went out to go actually scrape my car before I came into the office today. And as I stepped outside and I stepped on my sidewalk that leads down to where my car was parked on the street, it's got a slight downhill slope, and I just stood there and I slipped. Like literally almost slipped all the way down, like a tiny little shuffle here or there, but I made it all the way down to the bottom by the car, just like balancing, almost like ice skating down the hill, slipping down the whole way. I didn't fall, thank the Lord, but I slipped all the way down to get down there, not even one step. And then, I got everything all set up, and I went to go drive off, and as I left, I got going on the road, and I came up to an intersection, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, I better be careful. I'm gonna slow down and hit my brakes a little bit early, and I hit my brakes, and literally it didn't slow down at all. The car didn't slow down even a tiny bit. It just slid, and I saw this other car coming across the intersection, and I'm like, oh, I hope that guy speeds up so I don't run into him, because I went right through the intersection, just totally solid ice. And it just kind of got me thinking about what people often call the slippery slope of sin. Just how you get sliding and you can't stop because you've opened the door to sin in your life. And thinking about in James chapter 1 verse 14 and 15, it says this, but each one is tempted when he's drawn away by his own desires and enticed. And then it says in verse 15, then when desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin, and sin, when it is full grown, brings forth death. And so this is the slippery slope of sin. You have just this desire in your heart, and you just entertain the thought. You're like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna entertain this thought. What would it be like to engage in this behavior that I know I shouldn't be doing? And the desire, when it's conceived, gives birth to sin. And you have that enticement, and sin, when it's full grown, gives birth to death. And so, man, don't even step foot on that slippery, icy slope. Just like stepping outside, I stepped out on my sidewalk, and I slipped the whole way down. I didn't even have to try. I just slipped all the way down. Same thing going through that stoplight. I pulled up to the stop sign, and I just slipped right through it because I was on that slippery, icy slope. That is the same way that sin works. So don't even entertain the thought in your mind. Take every thought captive in obedience to Jesus Christ. You'll find victory in your walk, but don't even step in that little desire. And because it'll lead forth, and it'll bring you to that place of sin, and ultimately it brings death. It brings death in your heart, death in those areas in your life where you want to see life. So have a great day. Be safe out there on the roads. Don't fall. God bless.